Hey, Andrew. We tied in one of those games. Yeah. But I was the one to get all the long ones today. Ha ha. And also, I have a Katarina with me.
Yes. At the very least in voice, if not in game.
I'm going to consider that a victory because I have a different layout that I'm still learning to touch type with. So, I'm working with a handicap. I know, right? We got so many. I think my favorite of the words was balcony, but that's not really useful for 14 ever. Hurdle? Alright. I was like, where's my sound? I didn't turn the sound back on. I'm a genius. Oh shit. I've been locked out of the quest.
No!
Dun dun dun. Hmm. Well. Yes. It was immediately relevant. Alright then, I guess we're going right back where we came from. You mean the daily quests? The one that was next to him? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. So, every time you do one of those quests, your reputation goes up. But if you're at max reputation, which is what I'm at right now, which is why I can get that next quest, doing more, you lose reputation. So I was holding them to do the reputation quest and then put the reputation into the new rank, and then I couldn't do the quest. So yes, that's why those were just sitting there ready to go, because I was gonna just be like, oh yes, I could just put my reputation into the new rank. It's gonna be great. And the reason why, the reason why you don't see me just, do lots of these quests, like, all at once, is because you're only given 12 per day. So you have to kind of be careful. And also, each one you can only do once. So, I was trying to be sneaky. It did not go well. Eventually, I'm going to get rid of this cough. But other than that, I'm doing okay. How are you? Food is important. Hey, Rain.
Hello. Run, Tottery, run!
I swear, she gets herself into more trouble than she's worth sometimes.
Where do you think you're going, Missy?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend.
What's going on here?
What's it to you, boy? Piss off.
Hold on. I've seen them around. They're in and out of House 4 Tom's Manor all the time.
Oh, I see. Skulking about at your highborn master's bidding, eh? Bloodhounds hoping to catch a whiff of heresy, is that it?
You are quite mistaken, I assure you. We came here to help. And if you know what's good for you, you will let us pass.
Haha! Listen to the pups yapping. Come here, boy. I'll give you cause to yelp.
Enough! Leave threatening women and children to our betters. We don't have the knack.
Oh, she's one of my favorites.
Killed her.
Lay a finger on the Blue Blood's pups, and you're like to lose the hand. And often I get called on by glorious heroes like yourself. So tell me, what have I done to deserve you?
Best character in Heavensward. The only reason why she's not my favorite is because she doesn't really spend a lot of time on screen. But she's great. I love her.
It's fine. I just worry. Poor Ice is coughing her lungs out. I don't know if you can hear it in the background.
So, while you're on your way to kill Nidhogg, you stumbled on some dirty secrets that the Holy See has been hiding for centuries.
Eh? What are they on about?
The High Houses. And what makes a nobleman so bleeding noble? They trace their blood back to King Thordan and his Knights 12, the founders of Ishgard. But our friends here reckon we're all descended from the heroes of Eld. Highborn and lowborn alike. And so Sir Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, has gone to ask the Archbishop if he wouldn't mind letting everyone know.
Is he simple? The old bastard will have him executed for heresy.
Well, seems to me that's what the good sir wants. Seems he thinks a noble sacrifice will serve to prove his claims.
We cannot stand idly by and allow Sir Emmerich to do this. Ishgard has need of him.
Look, you've a good heart, I can see that. Willing to risk your neck for someone else even when his troubles ain't yours. But what's this got to do with me?
If Sir Emmerich is imprisoned in the vault, we will need all the help we can muster to breach their defenses and rescue him.
What in the hell's...
Ah, the unmistakable scent of heresy. And what do we have here? The honored guests of House Fortom consorting with the Queen of Rats. Ooh, plotting insurrection, I shouldn't wonder. That won't do. Sickness is wont to fester and spread. It must be burnt out ere the infection takes hold.
I reckon Sir'd be happy to wield the irons himself. Well, so happens I've got irons of my own.
Such simple creatures, rats, certain to attack when cornered. Let us step outside, milady. In here, your toys could hurt someone.
my sword!
There's no denying your gifts. A well-deserved reputation indeed.
Enough! Lucky bastard.
Nay, 'tis we who are lucky. Had we fought on, 'twas but a matter of time before our conflict claimed the life of an innocent bystander.
I thought the Heavensward might come here as well.
They came to the Temple Knights' headquarters.
Aye. Sir Grinno announced that the Lord Commander had been imprisoned under suspicion of heresy, and that the Heavensward had been granted full authority in his stead.
Then the Heavensward now commands the Temple Knights.
Those still loyal to Sir Emmerich answer to me. Alas, that amounts to but half our number. The other half, who opposed his promotion to Lord Commander, have gathered at the vault as ordered.
Bolstering the guard already, eh? If I didn't know any better, I'd say you were expected.
I take it you're in charge around here?
Hilda. And yes, the young master was just persuading me to join his lost cause. Convincing little beggar, isn't he? Aye. Your passion moved me. A bit. That, and the fact that we're sick of living off the leavings of our betters. If you've a mind to change things around here, then we've a mind to join you.
Did that entire solo instance while full on dying. That sucked.
She was coughing her lungs out the whole time. Do you have any more of those cough drops, sweetie?
Yes. Although in that case, the rice tried to kill me.
Oh, well. I can't help you with the rice.
Listen here, you. Listen, I'm a chaos magnet. It's kind of how it works.
Chaos gremlin.
Listen here, I go by Treasure Goblin and only Treasure Goblin.
That's true.
Oh, the vault is first. I got the order incorrect. Oh.
Oops. What's the plan now then, boss?
Rain. Rain, you want to go to the vault? Get your butt online. And in the chat. The general chat.
Yes, yes, I am Rain. Hello.
Hello.
At least I think I'm Rain. You tell me.
You think you're Rain? Oh no.
Hello, Kebby. Most likely Kebby.
Kebby! Hi, Kebby! You ready to go?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Whenever you are.
I've been muted this whole time. Hi, Ray. Hi, Kenny.
Hello there.
I said hi when you came in, but you know.
You're doing great, Cat. I believe.
I thought you just didn't love me, Katarina.
That must be it.
Yeah, it's that dungeon. You know, the one everyone references in Heavensward. Filthy rats. I told you this dungeon was first, though.
I thought for sure it was a different order. I don't know why I was so sure, but I was very sure.
Oh yeah, I'm level 58.
Go ahead and pull the max.
This is it?
I know right now it is, but you know later there's a bigger one.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't have any cooldowns, but Dark Mind blocks physical damage now.
Yeah, you don't have that excuse anymore.
Right? Buddy. Standing back here. Being that guy. He said, I am a black mage. I don't move.
Healer adjust?
Is she the healer? Hold on.
He's referencing his healer, which I guess was the dead guy that we killed first.
All of the time. Especially when I ask.
You know what will be great for this dungeon for Dark Knight? A mini TBN. Perhaps an 8.
You just want TBN.
I said a mini TBN. It can be a 10% shield.
You just want TBN.
Job should get their kits more. Earlier, so you know, you can learn how to fundamentally play the job.
I feel like I have a lot of my kit this level.
You do. Because you are a starting job.
Heck yeah. Although you can't really say that because some starting jobs have gotten things like stripped down so far that they actually don't have a lot at their lower levels anymore.
Yeah, which is why they need to be addressed too.
Yeah. White Mage is just very consistent and therefore is quite lucky. They haven't changed it
But
very
look how
much.
much White Mage has been changed though. Don't forget, lilies weren't added until Shadowbringers.
That's true.
So beforehand, White Mage was just like just a heal bot. Like they did nothing. They had nothing to manage.
I mean, I still feel like I don't have that much to manage. That might just be me. As you've established, I find this class actually quite boring. Because there's not a lot to do.
Yeah.
I was trying to sidecast. Oh man, thank you.
I got the annoying gravity thing out of the way, so you know, you guys can stay close. Because I hate that thing.
Honestly, Kevy, I don't know the tanks well enough to say whether or not you're right or wrong. I'm sure you're right. I just don't know enough.
I mean, yeah, he's right.
Okay.
Level 50 tanks.
Okay, I'm just like I don't know. I don't play tank.
Objectively, do nothing different.
Oh, you're missing one. They got one.
Our black mage buddy single targeting.
No, don't call that a black mage. It's a red mage.
I'm calling him a black mage because he's standing all the way over there.
That's true. He's standing in very funny places as a caster. Says the caster main right now.
Black mage things.
Not even black mage things. Just like because black mages know not to stand in front of the boss, and he kept standing in front of the boss.
True.
Yeah, I'm like, no, don't call that a black mage. That's rude to the black mages. I'm gonna get me a treasure coffer.
Yep.
Because I do want, if possible, some accessories and a weapon. I'm still in a level 50 weapon, and that's not great.
You're gonna be like, congratulations, you got boots.
Right? I'm like, I don't need boots. My left side's good. Alright, Andrew. Alright, you can't kill him.
No, you can't.
Alas.
Paladin is the only exception now to tanks having something different at level 50 because they actually get, you know, an integral resource to their kit now, since you know they moved Sheltron down to like 45 and Sheltron works off of the gauge. So Paladin actually uses their gauge and learns how to effectively, you know, manage it at level 50. But every other tank, like Dark Knight, does nothing with his MP right now. But
pause for 2 seconds.
Spend it on damage. Yep. Yes, Sheltron is booty. But that's besides the point.
Okay, you can continue.
And then Gunbreaker and Warrior literally just, you know, again, have no gauge at this level. Gunbreaker gets a cartridge spender at this level, but like it's damage. They might as well be DPS at 50.
Be done with you!
Skip them.
And now the final cut! This shall be mercy.
There'll be mercy.
You disgust me.
Yeah, I can't help our red mage friend who has, a bleed on him and slow, because I don't have TBN. I don't even have anything to pass to anybody. I'm just
must be purged.
here just to hold aggro and smack boss. That is literally my job.
You're doing a great job at stacking boss, though.
Sickness must be purged.
Remember when people used to die in this fight?
I still have trouble sometimes with certain healers because this is still kind of a healing intensive thing if people aren't on their game. But even though I'm in a at-level character, I am still a max level person who has done in-game healing. He's not that hard.
Yes. Yes, Holy Sheltron is good, but regular Sheltron is definitely a no. But that goes to show with all of the tanks 30-second cooldown.
Hang on, this one has voice.
Yeah, I know.
How can this be? Fall back!
Father, please! For a mercy, we were not too late.
Why must you do this, Father? Nidhogg is fallen. There is no need for further deception. Now is the time to renounce the lies which led us down this path. To start anew!
And tear down the very pillars of our society? Our history, our values, everything we have built over 1,000 years? A fool to the last. Look out!
Just tank LB like DSR.
Go. Asisla awaits.
Lord Orchefon!
What a dick.
It's no good. The wound is too deep. It refuses to mend.
Yeah, you got tackled by the bot.
You are unharmed? Forgive me. I could not bear the thought of... Oh, do not look at me so. A smile better suits a hero.
This scene has a lot more impact now that they figured out how to do tears. Because now our character looks suitably sad. Holy
now
shit!
They figured out how to do it.
So I know originally, like, your character did not look like that.
No, it was like a weird, awkward smile, and it was like, yeah, it did not look right.
Well, I mean, they looked like upset, but like they didn't have like the eyes going all teary like they do now. So it just looked our character was sort of upset instead of, you know, actively almost crying. All right, Rain, you continue your tank rant if you'd like to.
I don't remember where I was.
Oh, sorry. It's a big moment. I had to stop you.
Oh yeah, it's definitely obvious that the direction of classes that are, as I always say, designed, you know, Stormblood and Prior need to definitely be readjusted, because if you look at jobs designed in Heavensward...
More voice.
A knight lives to serve, to protect, to sacrifice. There is no greater calling. Leave me to mourn and give chase. For my son, and for the nation he loved. Go!
His sacrifice shall not be forgotten.
My son.
Okay. We're good now? I think we're good now. Yes. Oh.
I mean, I'm interested at like the job changes coming in 7.2 at the end of next month, because with that, we don't know. I know they said if within the early Dawn Trail live letters and the first interviews that we got, that they were gonna start moving towards the direction of 8.0, like around 7.2. So
We shall see. And they have mentioned
see
a
what
number
that
of times that they're going to focus on jobs next expansion instead of content.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
I'm
want
curious.
to see what that means.
Yeah. All right. Is there more voice cut? There's probably more voice cut scenes. We're getting closer to the finale. I mean, they're a savage level raid.
My friends, I am in your debt. Think nothing of it. Your wounds are healing well, I trust. Some wounds do not heal. The Founding. The Scriptures, 1,000 years of lies, all to deceive the common man. Nay, our own brothers and sisters. For the blood of the Knights 12 flows within all our veins. You knew this to be true. You knew, and you concealed it.
I should be interested to hear how you came by this knowledge. But yes, you have the right of it. The architects of Ishgard, King Thordan and his Knights 12, entrapped and butchered the great worm, Ratatosker, that they might partake of her eyes and thereby transcend their mortal limits. Upon learning of their treachery, Nidhogg was consumed with a murderous and justified rage. I dare say you know what followed.
The great worm slew the king and half of his knights.
Aye, but Nidhogg was subdued, and his eyes plucked from their sockets by the knights that remained. Their one mistake was to show mercy. For from his brother Hreysvelger did Nidhogg receive a new eye, thus rejuvenating his form and empowering him to embark upon an eternal quest for vengeance.
Whilst Thorden's son Haldreth took one of Nidhogg's eyes and learned to wield its power in defense of his people.
Thus was the first Azure Dragoon born, and ever since that time, his honored successors have risen to drive Nidhogg from our lands whenever the worm has returned to plague us. I ask you, my son, will you answer for my sins? Will your son and his son answer for me as well?
What do you mean?
If a man cannot atone for his sins in the course of his all-too-fleeting life, must his progeny then be held to account? Must every subsequent generation be judged as well? Thorin's betrayal of Ratatoskr was an unconscionable, unforgivable sin. Should we then, as his descendants, meekly surrender ourselves to an eternity of punishment? Nay, say I. I would not see our children sacrificed in a vain attempt to appease an implacable foe. Dragons are not like us, my son. To they who live forever, the wrongs of antiquity are as those of yesterday. No reparations shall ever suffice. This fact alone should serve as ample justification for our actions. Yet some refuse to see it as such. For men like you, who yearn to commit themselves to a nobler cause, a more compelling narrative is required.
This is your solution. This is how you protect our people. You have given us a lost cause, a death sentence. With your compelling narrative, you but doom our countrymen to give their lives for a lie.
And they do so gladly. Highborn and lowborn alike are proud to serve, to fight and die for their country. And what would you say to them? What would you tell the wives who have lost their husbands? The mothers who have lost their sons? That their loved ones died for naught? Over the course of 1,000 years, countless men have donned these robes, and every one of them came to accept the necessity of this solution. Once, I hoped you might come to accept it as well. Do not despair, my son. Soon I shall free us from the sins of antiquity, and bring about the change you so fervently desire. If he has spoken with others, I would have their names. Escort him to a cell and question him thoroughly.
Your Eminence.
You saw something, did you not? A vision of the past?
So this is the power of the Echo. Would that it had shown you a finer moment from my past. 'Twas an exercise in futility, as you saw. faced with the firmity of his conviction and his many ready rejoinders, my words deserted me. To be frank, I am embarrassed to recall it.
A friend once impressed upon me the importance of differentiating between words, deeds, and beliefs. Were he here, I suspect he would judge your father's conviction to be no more than rank, self-serving delusion. Even so, I cannot help but wonder what manner of change he intends to bring about.
I have given some thought to that as well. During the battle within the vault, the Heavensward demonstrated strange and unnatural abilities.
Aye, the manner in which Sir Zephyrin struck down Lord Haurchefant was unlike anything I've ever seen before.
The spectacle called to mind King Thordan and his Knights 12 as they are depicted in scripture, holy powers and all.
Mere fabrications, which have become objects of faith, instilled with the belief of countless devoted souls. 7 hells!
If Lady Iceheart can use her own body as a vessel for summoning, I see no reason why others could not.
Are the Heavensward truly so reckless?
Unbelievable.
As they fled, my father spoke of Aziz La. Though I know not what he intends, I fear no good shall come of it. His ambitions are too great, and his minions too powerful. We must find the Heavensward and stop my father before it is too late.
Yes, it's a giant Knights of the Round reference.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
That's kind of grim.
I know, right? Oh, yeah, you could make your warriors like violent and angry. But we're given a choice here. Now, it's a choice that you can kind of like, there's no reason to think that our character is thinking calmly right now, because one of them is, I will go to the end of the world for it, and the other one is, I'm gonna take that man's heart for taking the life of my friend. Like, there's no peaceful solution here, so it does tell you the emotional state of our character, even though I am given a choice here. Lucia, did you plan on asking my opinion on that, or are you just kind of coming along?
You didn't get an option there, clearly.
I know, right? She's like, I'm going to, and I'm like, did I ask? Like, what do you want, man? Oh, they happen so close together. That's why I got them confused. I thought we went to Cloud Top first. And then came
we
back.
knew Az's Law was in the Sea of Clouds, so.
I mean, I knew that. But for some reason, I thought that we dealt with the whale problem first. Because, you know, big whale problem.
I mean, chronologically, now that it's being displayed, it makes sense because, you know, you're trying to take an airship through the Sea of Clouds to get to Az's Law, and, you know, big floating airship in the sky would only attract the attention of, you know, the thing that eats things floating in the sky. So, you know.
Yes, it makes sense now, but again, for some reason, I had gotten them flipped. I thought we dealt with the whale first, and then Emmerich gets caught. Welcome back, Andrew. Oh, thank you. How to Make You Sad 101. The little girl who was a section of 2 different quests is now dead. Define well. I recommend you going back and watching the VOD. Down there. It's not quite a drink, but soup. I've finally been given a quest to give out rations and food. Back to my roots.
Oh, drink deliverer.
Yes. Well, try some soup. I don't know how that's going to help her with the cold. Well, it helps with the cold, but I don't know how it's going to help with, you know, her not having a husband.
Now you have side quests galore.
Now I have 2. Technically I have 1, because I've already turned 1 in.
Yes. But you didn't mention the side quests that are incoming. Dun dun dun.
I don't know what you're talking about. Those don't exist yet. I haven't seen them.
You haven't seen them, therefore they don't exist.
Yep.
You don't know Final Fantasy 14.
Nope. Don't exist yet.
Big story moment. Congratulations. You just unlocked 10 side quests. One of those side quests, by the way, is a branching side quest into multiple parts.
We're gonna pretend those don't exist right now.
Sure, I'll play your game.
You should. It's a good game.
Alright, my work on here is done.
Well, Rain, we might get to the Bismarck.
Will we? She's already forgotten the subject of the conversation I just brought up, 10 seconds ago.
No. Doesn't exist.
Do you think she's gonna see Bismarck today? Oh boy.
I might. You never know, Rain. I might get through real quick.
You might get through real quick?
I might get through real quick.
You might get through real quick?
I sense some doubt.
Very, very confident in that.
I sense some doubt.
You sound very, very confident in that. It's amusing.
Ooh, theater popcorn.
We gonna place our bets, chat? Will she make it to Bismarck today?
What are we betting in my chat? What?
Kevy says no.
Wow!
Andrew, is Ice gonna make it to the level 57 trial today? Before stream ends. Place your bets.
To give you a little bit of context, the vault is the level 57 dungeon.
He has the second half of a zone to go through first, which is gonna have side quests there. All she has is an hour and a half. That is correct.
Wow, Kevy!
Like, nope.
Thanks for the hydrate, by the way.
You've unlocked the competitive nature in her now, Kebby. She's gonna try her absolute darnest to prove you wrong. Alright.
He hasn't had a chance to see my spiteful side yet. And he's wandering off to get popcorn, so he won't see it today either.
Yes, but I can always tell him tomorrow whether you made it or not.
Wow.
Or later. You know how much I love to stir the pot.
Yeah, you do.
Alright, let me log off.
Well.
If you make it, I'll log back in. You have my word. I will. If you make it.
If I make it.
What am I gonna do? Go to sleep and forget all about you? Nah.
You might.
Nah. It's too early for me to go to sleep. Me? I could have been here at the start of the stream. Ice didn't ask me to be here. Although, Friday, I won't be. At all.
Well! Abandoned.
I mean, I can like participate. I can like participate in chat while she's streaming, but like, I'm gonna be playing another game.
Abandoned. You hear that?
That's not abandoning you.
Abandoned.
You know,
you are ridiculous.
Katarina, help.
Leaving me for Monster Hunter Wilds. Hear this?
I'm doing what?
She goes, by doing what?
She knows the futility of such things.
Futility? Katarina just likes to see me suffer. I already know what it is.
Right. Okay.
That is her enjoyment.
I think you're getting Katarina mixed up with other people.
No, I'm not. You like being the source of my suffering. Katarina likes watching me suffer.
Wow.
I guess we're a match made in heaven, Katarina.
Apparently. Is that why you married me?
No, I married you because I love you.
There we go.
Are you guys trying to say you developed a mutual bond over making me miserable? Is that it?
Technically, I was saying that you were saying that, but yes.
No, we don't, but anyway.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I just, show up every now and then.
Every now and again. He's not even here consistently. You hear this?
I'm in chat every single day, just so you know. Like, you say these things, and yet I am the most consistent person other than, like, Katarina in your life.
I don't know, man. Andrew is very consistent. He might take offense to that. He is here every stream.
I said in your life, not your stream.
That is fair. That is a distinction.
Yes, you can have the viewer title, Andrew. Don't worry. Only because I'm fat and I like to go out to eat on Fridays. Like, that is the only reason why, like, I am possibly not in her stream on Fridays, which I'm still watching her stream. I'm just not commentating.
I don't know, man. At this point, I'm just having fun.
I know you are. You're just bullying me at this point.
Yeah, Friday is probably my quietest day of all my streams. Although, now that I have Fridays, maybe I can start early.
Hey, there you go.
Would that be a good thing? Would you like that?
I mean, unfortunately,
it wouldn't affect me at all, because I wouldn't be able to participate if you started earlier either, because I'm in for. I would be raiding.
Not what I'm talking about. Like, you'd still be out of Fru.
I get out of Fru on Fridays at 6, an hour before you raid. Like, how early are you talking?
Literally an hour.
To the northern reaches
that
of
I would
the sea
have
of
just
clouds,
left Fru, and I won't be thinking about Final Fantasy
yet
14. Trust me.
remained uncharted. In search of a mysterious land known as Azizlar, and the unmasked villain who sought to claim its secrets. Oblivious to the new threat which followed in their wake, they came.
But Rain, it wouldn't be about 14, it'd be about spending time with me.
I mean, I would love to spend time with you. You know that.
most annoying map in this entire game. In my opinion.
Sea of Clouds?
Yeah.
Because of the verticality?
No, because it's separated into two halves, and before you have flying, it's very hard to traverse between the two halves.
It is very hard, yes.
And on top of that, there's only 2 Aetherites, and they're both on the same side. Like one is of course south in the southern half, and the other one's north in the northern half. But I'm talking like between left and right. They're both on the left, which means if you want to go to the right for any reason, you gotta go, fly or run.
Yes, it's quite terrible, actually.
Like, it's not my favorite. And let's not forget that, you know, the ether currents are also separated in this northern and southern half. So you could be like tracking down an ether current, and then it'll be like, oh, it's technically on the other half of the map. You gotta teleport now, and then go find it again. Not my favorite.
It wasn't their finest map design for sure. But you notice that they never did anything like it again.
Ruby C almost gets there. Ruby C is similar. The only thing that saves it is the fact that you can go underwater and you're technically at flight speed underwater.
I mean, technically, the Ruby C's main problem is that the lower half didn't have an Aetherite, but their answer to that during Stormblood was you could just, you know, dock from Kugane to get to the lower half.
Yeah, I know.
But like, yeah, I see your point.
Yeah.
I still think like within most of the map design after Sea of Clouds,
they do figure it out, yeah.
Maps to at least have an Aetherite on
either side.
Yeah, each side of the map that you had to, you know, do most of the questing on.
Yeah. Why are you looking for the Archbishop, my guy? Also, that's not the Vanu, but whatever.
The worst thing about the Ruby Sea, in my opinion, is that majority of the map is water. So like, unless you're specifically questing underwater, your transportation is very slow. You know, outside without flight. And yeah, you could dive underwater.
I do all the time.
Yeah.
That is my main mode of transportation if I'm there. So I go underwater. Again, until we get flying, because that's just different. Like once you have flying, it's a moot point. But before that point, 100%. That's how I get around. Is I go underwater and I just chill there, and only come out if I need to. Ow, that's rude.
When do you even get that? Do you get the capability to swim underwater before you get to the Ruby Sea, or do you get it in the I think you get it in the receipt.
You get it in the receipt because you get it at Tamamizu.
Yeah.
When they teach you how to breathe underwater. Which I would be like, spoiler, but it doesn't tell you anything about the story. I can breathe underwater later. Look at me, VOP.
Yeah, air bubbles.
What? Okay. Now I can hop between the two paths. I was not about to go anywhere until I got that aetherite. That is super slow.
Man, you can tell that game didn't sell well. Jesus.
Which game?
Dragon Age the Veilguard. It's being offered as a PlayStation Plus game next month for March. And it just came out like November of last year. So they're definitely trying to give it away. Yep. See? Like even Andrew said, friend of mine said the same thing.
I don't know anything about the Dragon Age game, so I'll take your word for it.
quite frankly, I think the Dragon Age games went off the rails at Inquisition. So, I'm...
You didn't like Inquisition, Katarina? Or is that just an overall thought?
No, I didn't like Inquisition. Or I didn't like half of Inquisition.
Yeah.
There's a very distinctive moment in Inquisition, and everyone who's finished the game knows when it is.
I think I know what you're talking about. I've played through it.
It's about 2/3 of the way through the game, and it completely loses the plot entirely. So I kind of like I didn't have a reason to play the next Dragon Age game because I was like, well, they stopped caring about the writing.
Yeah.
And you can, like, I could tell just from, like, the trailers and, like, the hints at the story for this new one that, yeah, they completely didn't give a shit about story anymore. They completely stopped caring. They were so focused on the mechanics for stuff that they ignored the story. It's actually very similar to what happened to Mass Effect 3. 90% of Mass Effect 3 is great, and the last 10%. I don't know. Ubisoft seems to have this issue with hiring fantastic writers for like their first couple of games, and then when the games start getting popular and good, it's like somebody in the finance department goes, "Great, we don't have to spend money on this bullshit anymore because we have a market," and then the game falls apart.
I mean, that's exactly what it is, though. Once they feel like they have a target audience in a market, you know, of people who are going to guarantee buy our game, they stop investing so much within the game's quality. Because you have guaranteed sales at that point. Like, I really love Dragon Age 2, and then like Inquisition, I couldn't finish.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things that's like just 2/3 of the way through the game, it's just poof, and you're just like, what? Why? Why would you do this? Why does this matter? Why are we here? Like, it didn't make sense. Which I'm very thankful that 14's story evolved out, because it's extremely well written. It's more or less consistent. There are obviously, when you jump between some of the expansions, some of the writing gets a little skewed, but they at least
Stormblood,
pointed
cough.
in the same direction. Stormblood, cough. But it's at least pointed in the same direction. And then once you start getting past Stormblood, because I think that's when they switched to
the other writer.
I can't remember her name.
Well, no, they were always a team. So one of them handled the main scenario writing, and the other one handled like side quest writing and like the some of the class quest writing. Like she supported him already, even in the beginning.
Yeah.
All they did was just switch their two roles. So where now she does the main scenario and he does the supplementary stuff.
And Ishikawa doesn't even write the main scenario anymore. She's head of the story department now, and all she does is go through checks and balances of, you know, the new people who are writing it.
Yeah. They now have a writing team, whereas before they only had 2 people.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to imply anything by that. It's just like they found a unified direction.
Oh yeah, for sure.
When they switched to the main writer, it wasn't that one is superior to the other. It's just they were just bouncing around a lot. They were trying to find the rhythm that they wanted, and they didn't find it until after Stormblood.
For sure. A Realm Reborn was written together between Banri Oda and Ishikawa, and then Heavensward and Stormblood was just written by Banri Oda. and Ishikawa was doing like side content. Like the Dark Knight quest is always, you know, one that I can turn back to that was written by Ishikawa in Heavensward. And then same with Stormblood, she wrote it in Stormblood as well. But she doesn't become the main story writer until Shadowbringer and Endwalker. And then after Endwalker, in fact, after Endwalker's main scenario, not even like the post Endwalker, you know, Void stuff, like she writes Endwalker's main scenario, and then, you know, a team takes over for the Void stuff.
Right. Yeah, and I'm not trying to say that one writer is better than the other. It's just they found their direction after Stormblood.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is awesome. And we are all very much appreciative of that, because it turned it into quite the, like, that's when we start really understanding what they're going for, right?
Yeah. In fact, I'm pretty sure since Endwalker was like written ahead of time, when like Shadowbringers was you know, we were in Shadowbringers, she had written Endwalker. Like by the time we got to Endwalker's expansion, like she started writing 16, because she wrote 16 as well.
Oh, did she? That's cool.
Yeah, it's the same team working on both 14 and 16. That's why whenever we got all the promotional stuff for 16, excuse me, they specifically said creative business division 3, to let people know that it's not Team 1 working on this major Final Fantasy, because normally Team 1 is the Final Fantasy team. That's why they put so much emphasis on a different team is handling 16, is because normally that's not the case. Sorry. Normally Team 1 handles all Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts. Team 2, I think, is Dragon Quest? Either that or it's Team 4. I always get Team 2 and Team 4 mixed up.
Team 4 is Dragon Quest.
Team 4 is Dragon
Quest. Team 2
Quest.
has like a bunch of like
the side stuff.
Odd projects.
Yeah, they do like all the odd projects. They also, I think their people are also the ones that hop around the most between any team. If like, say Team 1 needs more people to work on animation, an animator from Team 2 will tend to go up there and help them out. And then Team 3 is 14, like only 14. I think they also kind of subsumed 11 a little bit. Either that or Team 2 has 11.
Team 2 had 11 because it was Play Online at first.
Yeah, so I think
Creative
now
Business Unit 3 took over Play Online. And
I thought so. And then Team 4 is Dragon Quest.
Because everyone had figured out that in terms of the MMO formula, it's Square Enix, Yoshi P has it figured out.
Yeah, he's the one that actually played quite a bit of them when he was younger, so he knows what's up. Like, he's talked all the time that, like, when he was little, like, he played WoW. He was a WoW nut. And he, like, bounced around to a bunch of other MMOs, too. Like, he's a gamer.
Yeah, it's funny, for the first little while how much, I heard, like, there was so much, I don't know what else to call it other than shit talking, from 14 players about WoW, and I'm like, that's how your game came about, guys. Like, I know that you don't like to admit it, but, like, WoW was the first company, or WoW was the first game to really
standardize,
solidly standardize a lot of practices in that space. A lot of practices that 14 follows, like.
Well, I think Yoshi B has actually gone on record to say that if there was no WoW, there'd be no 14. Like, I think he's actually said that at some point. I know it was a while ago, so this may be years ago at this point. But I recall an interview in which he was talking about like how he made 14, and one of the comments he made was, if there was no WoW, there would be no 14.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, World of Warcraft is the foundation of successful MMOs, so of course.
Well, yeah, you can tell too, because 11 came out before WoW, and so you can compare 11 to 14, and you can see just drastically the difference.
For sure. It's just for some reason in the 14 community, there's this big, like, or at least when I first joined up, I don't think it was like that so much anymore. I think that was around the time that UFGB started being like, stop doing this, guys. There was a lot of like WoW bashing happening.
To be fair, a lot of the story and aesthetics of the two games are very different, to the point where a lot of the times both fandoms kind of bash the other for liking the other game, because the story sensibilities and the aesthetics of the game are very different, and typically if you like the aesthetics of one, you don't like the aesthetics of the other.
Remember the time period we were in during that time too, when all the WoW hate in 14 started to manifest. That's when, you know, WoW started to crash, and all of the WoW players flooded into 14.
Yes, and they brought a lot of their mentality with them, which added a lot of extra toxicity and hate to the community. Now every community has toxicity. It existed before the WoW players, but it appeared to amplify quite a bit during that time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, not saying that it was justified for them.
No, it wasn't.
That flack of course it's not, and I don't agree with it at all. But like,
there was definitely a correlation. Not about causation, but a correlation.
They weren't helping themselves.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of it was them just simply not helping themselves. Because they were coming into a new game space and just being like, yeah, this is the same as WoW, right? And then everyone being like, no, it really isn't. And then them refusing to treat it like it's a different game.
Yeah. Well, we also got a lot of, well, in WoW they do this, and in WoW they do that. Like I said, both fandoms kind of bash the other one based on things they don't like about either game.
Yeah.
Not only that,
go away.
We had a lot of people like, you know, Osmond Gold, Rich Campbell, who came in and was like, I don't like this game, but everyone's playing it and I'm getting views, so I'm gonna play it.
Yeah, which none of us liked.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here.
Which is why neither of them play the game anymore, because once they stopped getting views because the hype died,
yeah, they moved on.
Just left.
Oh yeah. No, they're content monkeys now, for sure. I mean, they always have been to some extent.
Yeah.
What needs to go away?
Exactly it. They're content monkeys, and the people who participated in their content, like the Final Fantasy 14 streamers, you know, they all benefited from it because it brought them views, because then you have people from their community also watching 14 content, like, you know, using Rich as an example again. You know, a lot of the 14 streamers were helping Rich get ultimate clears because it was bringing views to their you know, their Twitch, views to their YouTube videos of the clears, which meant money for them. So
yeah, but also
welcome back, Kebby. And why no popcorn?
I also think there was a genuine hope that it was just gonna bring more eyes to the game, which it did.
Yes.
But I think that it was I would like to think that a lot of the 14 streamers, well, they were, yes, chasing more viewers, they were also like, oh, we can get more people into this.
You would think.
You would think. And I don't doubt that some of them weren't. Like, because I know that there were quite a few people that were not interested in new people joining 14, is the way I'm gonna put that. And they didn't
not
want
interested
more
in the
people
growth
in
and the
14.
development of the game, really. They're only interested in their own personal bubble and their own personal growth and development.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Hate to derail the conversation, but look at the tragedy in chat. The theater was closed, and there was no popcorn to be had. It's a tragedy. True heartbreak. Like the cats not making us food in not Wild Hearts, in Monster Hunter Wilds.
Here we go again.
Listen, not a real game now. Or rather, I should say, not a real Monster Hunter now. Like, the cats always make you food.
It'll come. There'll be a riot in the community. They'll fix it.
Cause like I have found out that the cats that were juggling the oranges and stuff, they are an ingredient vendor. They're not.
Yep.
Ah!
Yeah, they're not chef
I was
cats.
trying to tell you yesterday.
Listen, not yesterday, day before yesterday.
Yeah. I was like, nah, like, because there are people who have review copies right now. They played through the entire game, of course, because and there are content creators that also have the game and have played through the entire game, and they've all confirmed that within 300 hours of gameplay and such, there's no cat making your food. There is, like, every now and then you can get a prompt from like a village to come eat with them, which gives you a longer and stronger food buff, but this doesn't happen, frequently. Like, it's rare for it to happen. Otherwise, you are cooking in your tent or cooking with the portable grill. Now, because of this, the ingredients are a lot more wide and varied, and you can trade and get ingredients from like different vendors and do all the cooking yourself. Like, but there's
Rain,
no cool
that's
cooking cutscene.
That's not.
Maybe in the group dinners with the villages, you might see the cats do something. Like, I don't know.
But Rain, it's
But
not the
again,
same.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. If it's not something that you're able to continuously do, it's not the same. Then again, they don't plan on you continuously cooking anyway, because the food buff in the main game doesn't expire after every hunt. It expires after the time limit of the food buff, so you don't even have to eat after every. Like, your regular food buff lasts for 50 minutes, and then the village food buff, if someone invites you, lasts for an hour, so you get an extra 10 minutes. But like, if you do a hunt and complete it, that food buff still persists. Now, because of this, they said that it's easier for you to just be in the middle of a hunt. Say that you did 2-3 hunts back to back, and your food buff just suddenly drops because you didn't have to eat. And then all of a sudden, you went from having max health to having half health, and you just get one shot.
While I appreciate the convenience of that, I want my cats.
So.
Like, I will 100% say it's more convenient and it's probably better quality of life. But my cooking cats, though.
But they've also said to circumvent the whole idea of you running out of food in the middle of a hunt, well done steak now also maximizes your health, like you have a max food buff. It doesn't give you like attack bonuses and stuff like eating an actual meal does, but like if you eat a well done steak, you'll get max health and max stamina. Whereas in the older Monster Hunter games, it was just max stamina.
Excuse me.
And making a well done steak is a lot quicker in the field.
Rain's over here like, but quality of life, and I'm like, no, my cooking cats though.
I agree. Like I cried the blues about the cats. I really did.
I don't know. Like, there's something about the nice ritual and having these cats, you know, do the whole thing. Like, I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It adds
And
to the vibe.
it's been in every single Monster Hunter game prior to this one, so
Yeah,
it's
that
kind of
too.
odd.
That too. And we've got a new one for every expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a core part of the Monster Hunter experience. That's part of what makes it iconic.
Be surprised if next year when we get Wild's expansion and Master Rank, they actually go back on it and make a canteen. Wouldn't be.
Or if the fans complain enough, I bet you they'll patch it in.
Yeah.
Because yeah, like there's already people crying about not having the cats, and like not everyone has a review copy, but there's already people going.
I already cried about it.
Yeah, they're already like, man, this, like, and a lot of them do in fact acknowledge it's more convenient to do this. It's super convenient, but the vibe is wrong. Like a lot of it is that like everyone is kind of like, yeah, we acknowledge that this is technically a good thing, but we like having the cats. We like that ritual. We like, that routine.
And that's what most of the reviews have been like the net is thrown wide, and Monster Hunter is more accessible to new players than ever in Wilds. Like if you want to try a Monster Hunter game, Kebby, this is the game to try, because it's gonna teach you how to play a Monster Hunter. But like to people who have played Monster Hunter before, you are missing some of its soul. Just because in order to make it more accessible to new players, they took away some of the systems and jank that Monster Hunter had that people fell in love with for generations. So of course they expected it.
Well, and funny enough, not even like the jank, because like I don't care about the jank. For me, like there's a certain goofiness to some of like the emotes are big and broad. Like there's a lot of like goofiness into Monster Hunter and the animations. Like and like we're gonna talk about the cat cutscenes because that's the ones that we're talking about. Like that's the core of our discussion right now. But like, nah, they're doing fucking acrobatics. They're juggling seasonings. Like it's real goofy and it's real cute. Like they have no reason to be that adorable, and yet they are. Like it's a little bit of just that little bit of like, I'm gonna call it comedy of just playing a Monster Hunter that they've kind of stripped away to make it more naturalistic and more.
The word you're looking for is charm.
Appealing, I'd say instead.
But like, all of the emotes and things are over exaggerated. The facial expressions are over exaggerated. Like everything.
Yeah, they're huge,
and
even though they have these nice big 3D models. Like they're fucking colossal.
Yeah,
it is,
and that was part of it.
It is definitely heartwarming to come out of a sweaty, stressful hunt of Rathalos getting on your nerves for 30 minutes to sit down and watch a cooking cat cutscene and then enjoy the great looking food that you just don't have anymore.
Yeah. Well, and also let's be real, like, and then they kind of kept some of it because like you could still, like, when you finish a hunt and you try and give the cat like a sausage, the Sacred would come up and just take it.
Yeah.
Like there's still a little bit of that, but I don't think there's enough anymore. I think they've pushed the serious button too much. They mashed that button too hard. They probably need to dial it back a little bit and bring back some of the goofy.
Yeah, like I said, they're throwing the net too wide, and yes, overall this is good because Capcom wants to make money. They want more people to get into Monster Hunter, but is it going to feel good after 300 hours of gameplay? Only time will tell. Just like all of the streamers and veterans who are already playing review copies are like, well, it's very, very easy. And I'm like, well, first of all, it's low rank, so it's story. And then second of all, you've been playing Monster Hunter for generations, so things that you know, new players would fall for in a fight. You don't fall for anymore because you know the formula already. So you saying it is easy is not going to help, like Kebby trying to play the game, who is completely new.
Well, and also, and this is actually a strength of Monster Hunter, so this is not me bashing at any point, but like, the monster patterns don't change. If you've encountered this monster in another Monster Hunter game, you know this creature's patterns. You know exactly,
Yes.
like, you know exactly how many spaces you have to move to get out of Raytheon's backflip. Like, you know. It's something you just know how to do.
They will probably have one new attack in each game. Otherwise, it's the same thing.
Yeah, which again is a strength. Like that's the entire appeal of Monster Hunter, is learning how this creature moves around and how it attacks and being able to dodge and being able to then hunt the critter. Like this is in fact a strength of it. However, if you're a veteran of the game and you see the same things you always see, you're gonna think it's easy because you've already seen it before.
They're like, I'm not getting carded in low rank, which getting carded is, you know, Monster Hunter terms for dying, of course. And they're, you know, these people are saying I didn't cart in my entire playthrough, and I'm like, that's nice. You've been playing the game for, you know, 10 years.
That is a way of requesting for more challenge. But like you guys have said, this is supposed to be the wide net game. Challenge will come later. First, build audience.
We aren't even in master rank yet, and I know, like, Ice can confirm, since she played a good portion of Iceborne with me. Like, she was having a little bit of an easier time in Monster Hunter, and then I took her into Iceborne, and she was like, holy crap.
Well, yeah, part of it is because I never hit the end game for Monster Hunter regular, like Monster Hunter World normal. So I did not have in-game gear when I went into Iceborne, and that was a mistake. That was a colossal mistake. No. Suddenly, I get hit, and if I didn't have the food buff and a special drink and buffs up, that thing one-shot me, and it one-shot me easy. It wasn't even a contest.
So, like, I'm just gonna say, for if you think Monster Hunter Wilds is easy Friday, or, you know, a couple weeks into playing it, like, low rank is supposed to be story mode. It's tutorial. It's supposed to get you accessible and into the game. When you start doing high rank, that's when, you know, you fight bigger things, badder things, and the game gets harder. And then eventually when the expansion comes out next year, because there's gonna be an expansion, I promise you, and master rank releases, the gloves are off. Like, you are going to die in master rank, I promise you.
Alright, I got some exciting news. At least I think it's exciting.
Do we get the cats back? Have they already backed up that decision?
No.
Damn. Okay, continue.
Entirely unrelated to this video game. I don't know who does this. It says in the bottom corner, but I can't read the name of their company. Anyway, there's a company that tracks like miniature games sales across North America. BattleTech came in second. That's cool. My hobby is reborn. Hey!
What came in first? Was it Warhammer?
Warhammer 40K.
Of course, yeah. I was just like,
yeah.
Warhammer is a lot more popular than people think.
Yeah.
Mike is really into Warhammer now. Of course, Magic still, because, you know, Mike will never let go of Magic, but
I will never let go of Magic. My baby.
Into Warhammer.
I'm also going to be spiteful and laugh at who came in 10th, which is the last rank listed, which is War Machine, and I'm just like, ha ha ha, you guys did that to yourself. Hilarious enough, like, Bones, or also known as Reaper, who does the D&D minis, is still on the board.
Hang on, Katarina. You're gonna have to explain why you want to be spiteful to this one company.
Why I want to be spiteful to War Machine?
Yes.
So, what's the best way of describing what happened with War Machine? Okay, so some miniature companies will do like convention exclusive miniatures. And that's not bad. That's really cool. That's a great way of getting people to go to conventions so they can pick up like really cool miniatures that there aren't going to be a lot of. Like, that's cool. I like it when companies do that. The problem is what War Machine did is that these miniatures also came with different stat lines. And they were all ridiculously overpowered. And very few of them. Basically, they created artificial scarcity on some of the most powerful creatures and characters in their tabletop game. Which, for a miniatures game, you don't want that. You want everybody to have access to at least purchase everything that's available. Like, you want an even playing field for a miniatures game is very important. This company shouted at the top of its lungs, "Fuck you, we're gonna pull a Hasbro." Except before Hasbro.
Well, and even then, not Hasbro, because Hasbro has decided, at least in Magic, to say, fuck that. We're just gonna print a set every like year, and at that point, you either keep up or get lost.
Yeah.
Like they're actually doing the opposite. It's still detrimental, but it's also a card game. Whereas, no, you gotta let the card game cook a little bit.
You gotta let metas actually evolve and form, which
yeah, well,
they don't.
And also, again, like people like only whales can update a standard deck that fast and that frequently. Only the whales.
Printing a set like every month though beforehand?
Yeah, it is a set every month. Or it was, now it's a set every 2 months. It's like, it's not much better, guys. You didn't make it better.
Yeah, whereas now actual Wizards of the Coast, you know, before Hasbro bought them, before like way back, like we're talking like the Dark, so we're talking like mid-90s kind of vibes. They attempted this already, and it did not go well. They nearly killed themselves already. Now they learned from it, and I think they were doing a set, I think it was like 3 sets a year is what they were doing. So it was like once every.
That's the standard.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they made it the standard, because again, they already learned that lesson. So they had kept
one
that
set every 4 months.
Yeah. Well, and I say the reason I say 3 sets a year and not every 4 months, because sometimes it did fluctuate. Like if because they do what are called blocks, and each block is a story, and usually it's three sets. So if they're in the middle of a block, they might be spaced a little closer together for the story.
Gotcha.
It's still roughly, every 4 months, but again, it'll be a little squished. But roughly 3 a year.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, they'll add an extra one for fun.
Comparing to what I know the most, which is Pokemon, and yeah, it's probably the most basic out of all of them, but it does follow the standard of one set every 4 months. And the meta at Pokemon is very well established. It sucks, but it's very well established because of that.
Yeah, it's good. Well, and Wizards also was one of the first people who actually started that Pokemon as a TCG. Now, it's, of course, now very highly in, like, the Pokemon Company, right? But
But yeah, the reason why I don't like War Machine is because they basically made artificial scarcity for some of the most powerful miniatures that you could get, and these are specifically like champions for your force that would like give buffs to the rest of your army, or allow you to do build your army a certain way and stuff like that. So by not giving everybody access to these things, it basically became do you have enough money to travel all over the US to these different conventions to pick up a $40 model so that you could stay competitive?
Gotcha.
I also just don't like the art style for War Machine. It's very, I don't know how to explain it. It's weird. It's steampunk isn't accurate. It's like coal punk. I don't know how to explain this. Not my style. Not my style. It's yeah. Anyway. Gotta collect them all. So I'm kind of grinning at them being intense. Makes me somewhat happy. But yeah, so number 1 was Warhammer 40k, which makes sense. Number 2, which surprised I should, BattleTech. Number 3 is now Zal's Marvelous Miniatures, which is like superhero stuff. It's like it's a Marvel game.
Yep.
Then Warhammer Age of Sigmar is in 4th. Heroescape is the 5th, which is crazy that Heroescape is still doing so well. Yeah, you've got things like Bones, or aka Reaper, which makes all the D&D minis, all the pewter metal D&D minis. Actually, they've got plastic ones now, I think, too. But no, I was pleasantly surprised to see who was in the number 2 slot.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that for you.
A lot of it probably has to do with the new rule set for it, though. The joke about classic BattleTech is every time you fire a set of missiles, you have to file your taxes to see what happens. Whereas the new gaming system, Alpha Strike, is very straightforward, very quick, and it's more like 40k in how it runs. But yeah, I'm happy to see that. That's nice.
Yes. For those who care about wild spoilers, stay off of Twitch tomorrow, because content creators and review copiers are allowed to play tomorrow.
Gotcha.
So you know it's going to be on the front page.
I still have to do my budgeting for the month and see if I can get Monster Hunter.
Well, and honestly, unless you plan on, like, truly getting into the game of Magic, I would not recommend it. Like, there are other ways to collect your hobby.
Magic is a very expensive hobby.
It is.
Yeah, I actually don't recommend it. If you're gonna try and be competitive, don't do it. Just don't do it. If you want to play it casually and just have fun with friends, then that's fine. But
yeah.
Yeah.
The Final Fantasy set is very cool and very, you know, but like, based off, I mentioned my friend Mike earlier, like, he's been playing Magic for like 20 years now, and he, when I've asked him, like, throughout his whole lifetime of playing Magic, how much in total has he spent, he's at least told me like 500 grand easily.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, he does know like the meta things, and the meta things are always going to be more expensive because they are in high demand. Yeah, now I love it. I love it to bits. I've been playing it about as long as Mike has, probably. But unless you really like want to get into playing it and playing it often, it's not a very rewarding hobby. It's incredibly rewarding if you want to competitively play, because there's so much you can do with Magic that is a lot of fun. And it ranges from, I just want to fuck around and have fun, to, I'm going to break you in 2 turns and there's nothing you can do about it. Like you can run the entire gambit, and that's fun. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a very flexible game. And so, yeah, if you want to really get into the weeds and play it, it's really rewarding. But if it's just a casual interest, it's really expensive. I would suggest going for something a little cheaper.
Yeah, like Mike tells me when he wants a set from Magic, like Soren is in a set, for instance. Like, he will get 1 check. He's a security guard, so he does make decent money. But he will like get 1 check, make sure all of his bills are paid. His next check, he'll drop like $4 grand on Magic.
Yeah, no, Mike's crazy when it comes to how much he pays for Magic. It's cool, but man, that man's a lunatic when it comes to paying for Magic.
He has every single Soren card though, so
yeah,
like
he does. That's his baby.
His freaking identity is Soren. Like, he loves him.
So, for those who are not in Magic, Soren, exactly, and that should be your hobby. Like, if you do the thing that makes you that makes you passionate and something that you really enjoy, don't spend money if you don't want to. But Soren is an extremely old vampire from Innistrad. His color identity is always black and white, which is the dichotomy between life and death. And a lot of what he does is, depending on the card, usually either empowering his other vampires, or it's like when something dies, you get a token that does X. Like, that's a lot of his cards, is some variant of those mechanics. And Mike adores him. I don't know why Mike adores him, but Mike absolutely loves this man, and I could not fathom why. Now, it could be because I play a lot of blue, which is a lot of control and like, no, you can't do that. And it's all manner of control, like controlling the hand, controlling the deck, controlling the field, controlling the graveyard. So
the joke is the blue is the color of no, you can't.
Well, that's blue and white specifically.
Yeah.
But blue and white is lots of no. I didn't say you could.
I didn't say you could do that.
I didn't say you could do that. So the fact that there's no blue in Soren's color identity means I just don't care about him that much. He doesn't play in ways that I'd like to play Magic. He's an okay card. He's a pretty A-okay card. And some of his cards are actually quite strong. I just find a lot of his mechanics to be very boring, personally. But Mike loves him and does really well with him, so I can't say that he's bad. He did one where there's no creatures in the deck itself. It's all like, I create a token that does X. I'm sure you're gonna say one of the Power 9 cards. Oh, never mind. Which one is it? Okay, you've got my attention. I love Unglued and Unhinged. They're great.
Oh no.
They're the best sets, Katarina. They are the draft sets. Because they're just ridiculous. I do know that card. It's very funny.
Why am I having so much trouble spelling today?
The picture is awesome too, but what it does is pretty fun. My favorite from, I forget if it's Unglued or Unhinged, is Ashnod's Coupon, where you can command another player to leave the table and buy you a drink. There is an errata that says that you pay for the actual drink, but still, you can get the player to leave the table and buy you a drink. And it's one of my favorites, because it's funny. Some of the other like Unglued or Unhinged cards are like, you and another player go under the table and play a mini game of Magic under the table while the table up top is still playing Magic. You play a game within a game.
At least Magic is still more balanced than Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh yeah, it's a very balanced game. Like, it actually has like near perfect balance because every color can do really ridiculous things that all perfectly counter another color.
Like, you can literally get in a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Sit down, set up, and then like, yeah, lose.
And
like,
just lose. You don't get your turn. Yep, you don't get your turn. Fuck that.
I used to have a blue deck that was basically, if I would basically mill or mulligan until I got the 3 cards I needed, and it'd be game 2 or turn 2, the game would be done.
Like I mentioned before, you can run the entire gauntlet between I'm gonna have some fun with friends and it's gonna like each game's gonna take like an hour because there's 10 of us. And we're all gonna do ridiculous shit, or no, you're dead in 2 turns or less. Actually, it's really hard to do it in 1 turn. You'd have to get like an amazing hand to do it in 1 turn because of the mana system. But 2 turns is probably pretty reasonable. Let me guess, the blue one was a damn artifact deck, wasn't it?
Yep.
I thought so.
Yeah, I distinctly remember when I went to art school. God damn it. After class one day, it was a horrible, like, thunderstorm, so nobody was going anywhere. Transit was screwed. And I whipped out my Magic deck and just started, like, running through hands on my own in one of the classrooms, and one of my classmates saw me and was like, "Whoa, you have Magic? I brought my deck. Here, just hang on." And he runs off, and classes ended at like 4. By like 5:30, there was 10 of us doing Plane Shift Commander.
Oh, that's so much fun. Plane Shift is so much of a blast. It's a party variant. But I love Plane Shift.
Yeah, it was because like 2 people had. It was really funny because 2 people had the different Plane Shift decks, so they just combined them. They just shuffled them together.
Yeah, you can. They work together actually really well.
Yeah, they're supposed to work together.
Yep.
So we had both Plane Shift decks in the middle of the table with the dice. And people would be like, "Oh yeah, let's go. This is great." And then someone would be like, "Oh no, this screws me over. I have to try and I'll spend mana to roll. Damn it, I didn't succeed, we're still here. Like, it was hilarious. And there was like 10 people, and we'd shift sometimes like 5 times before it got back to the first person.
Yeah. Yeah, plane shift is one of my favorite party variants, but it's really hard to get those cards nowadays because they're old at this point. But they're so much fun. They do. So you know, Rain, you know that game, like the one that you have, the one that requires 4 people, with like the different archetypes.
Smash Up?
Yeah. So you know that card in the middle that changes how the game is played? That changes every once in a while?
The land? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the base card.
Yeah. So plane shift works like that.
Okay.
It's but with all of the ridiculousness of magic. It's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds fun then, because, you know, Smash Up is really fun.
And it's no, I always got screwed. I always got screwed somehow.
What are you talking about? You usually came up with really good things.
I came up with really good things, but like then like the base would change and all my plans just went to naught. And I'm like, what?
Like, I remember you used like time travelers and something else, and you were like a busted OP.
Yes, I finally found like my one thing that worked.
And you guys banned me from using steampunk, so you know.
That's because you'd waited like 2 turns.
What do you mean?
You would win shockingly fast if you were allowed to use steampunk at any time. Like horrifyingly fast.
It's not my fault that every Smash Up game that I played with you know, my other friends, I use steampunks.
It's not my fault. That's the one thing I know how to do better than anything else. Thank you, Andrew.
Ridiculous.
I wonder how many new
I taught
sets are
Rain how to play Magic a little bit, and then Mike then taught him more. Like, I taught him the basics, and then he went to Mike, and Mike then made him a monster.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mike kind of, you know, taught me the hard way of kicking my ass with his Sorin deck a bunch of times, and I was like, okay, like, I have to do something.
Oh yeah, me and Rain used to be roommates.
And then didn't you play Mike one time? But
oh yeah, no, like... he kicked my ass all night. It was great.
No, at first he didn't bring his cards, and he like went through your cards and made like a quick black and white deck, and was still like.
Oh no, he borrowed one of mine. He borrowed my extort deck, the one that if you pay mana you can and actually he said, hey, do you have any white and black? And I have one. I have one white and black deck, and it's a little slow, but here. And then he like proceeded to kick our ass with it.
Like, I can do this.
Well, he had done one before, because it's black and white. Of course, he had done one before. He's a black and white player.
Yeah, Mike is awesome.
Yeah, he used my extort deck against me and destroyed me with my own deck. Rude. Yeah, that was when he told you. And you had told me, which is the only reason why I know he told you.
Katarina, when you were there.
Yeah, Katarina had already played. No, like Katarina had already knew about it beforehand.
But like, I never got the chance to reassemble my Sliver deck while I was out there on the East Coast. Which made me sad, because that was the one deck that I wanted to actually like whip out and play against you guys. And we never got to reassembling it.
I'm sorry. I have the list. It's there.
No, it's fine. But yeah, no,
What Katarina did is she's the one that just got a bunch of packs and then like made a solid white deck and proceeded to kick our asses with it, right? And she's the one that real quickly just drafted up a 60 card deck and proceeded to demolish us.
Yeah, the freaking white.
Yeah,
white,
the tokens, the white weenies. Yep.
Yeah.
Kicked our butt.
Yep.
With like just shit that
white
she
mono deck.
found. Yeah, Katarina is the draft master.
Deck. Here, you get this many packs, I get this many packs, and you get this many packs. Now let's all try and make decks. And I immediately looked at all the different cards I got. I went, there's a white mono deck sitting right here.
Oh, sorry about that.
They were both very not happy.
Fuck. But yeah, Rain, after the very first time that Mike played with us, that's when he told you, and as I know best because you then told me, was that he literally told you, she's real good at the game, but she doesn't have any cards. Just get her more cards, it should be amazing. And I was like, story of my fucking life.
Cards.
Yeah, and then I proceeded to make broken things. I made lots of broken things, and I love them. To be fair, so Mike, as we've already talked about, can drop, you know, multiple thousands of dollars on cards in an afternoon. Me, when I was learning Magic, one, I learned from a judge, like an actual fucking judge of the game. So that's how I know it so well. And he was very particular about like, no, you have to do it in this way or it doesn't work, or you have to declare it in this kind of way or you don't get to do the thing you want to do. So he was the one that kind of like really hammered in like the rules to me. But I, as a very broke college girl, could only spend $20 a week on cards, which is only like 3 packs. So yeah, I've always not had enough cards to do what I actually want to do.
And then you married me and inherited the box of doom.
Well, even before then, so now none of the cards I have are actually like there's like, I wouldn't call them any like amazing. But there were 2 things that happened, right? But there are 2 things that happened before I even met Katarina. And one of them was an old roommate of mine was moving back to where like he grew up. And I told him, all right, I'll keep your stuff for a year for you to come back for it. You know, no problems. I'm not gonna like charge you nothing. But you have to come back for it in a year or it's mine to do whatever I want with it. Because I wasn't gonna keep this shit for years just sitting in a corner somewhere. And he said, okay. And one of those things was his entire Magic collection. And a lot of his stuff was the Alara sets and the original Kamigawa block. And a lot of his other stuff, I just gave up. Like, a lot of it was stuff I didn't care about. They got donated or they got trashed, depending on what condition they were in. But the Magic cards, I kept. Because of course I did. I love the Alara block. I love old Kamigawa. They're amazing. And some of them retail for pretty good. If I ever wanted to like sell it. The second thing that happened was my mom, for some reason, I don't know where she found this, how she found this. This is before like Facebook Marketplace, so I have no idea where she found this person. But for my birthday one year, she found a guy who is getting rid of a box of about half an arm's length by half an arm's length. I didn't measure the actual box, but roughly those kind of dimensions. Big box, a good couple inches deep, for $50. Okay. And for some reason, and he was very firm on the price because it was actually like a friend of his like owed him money. But as like instead of paying him back, he gave a bunch of cards. Right? And so the guy was then selling the cards to get the $50 that he needed. Like, it makes sense. So she paid the $50 and told me I had to go get it. And I said, okay, I'll go get it. Whatever. And this guy had like not alpha and beta, which would be I'd be set for life if I got alpha and beta cards, because even beta goes for hundreds of dollars per card. But I was getting like I got a lot of revised, I got a lot of unlimited, so 3rd and 4th edition, and I got like the Dark, I got Chronicles, I got Legends. Like, I was getting like the old shit, and I'm like, okay, yeah. And like, this is a big box. Now, there were some cards that were they were so damaged I couldn't keep them. Hell, some of them were glued together. They were so damaged. Yeah. And so I got this collection of huge. This is where so much of my cards are, is this collection. And so I have so many boxes of cards by this point. And then I met Katarina, who then had her entire collection in a box that came up to my knee.
That's not including the 3 binders.
Yeah, and then there was another white box inside of the bigger box. Yes. And I have every card cataloged in my phone. Because there's so many cards, you can't transport them. So if anybody wants something and I have it, I can just be like, let me check my phone real quick and do a quick search to see if I have copies of this card. Because likely the answer is yes, I just need to go get it.
I just need to find it.
Which brings us to the next thing. They are all sorted. All of them. I know exactly where every card is.
I remember when you were doing that. How long did that take her, Rain? Weeks?
Months.
Forever.
It took months.
Yeah. She's a little OCD. And one of the reasons I love her, though.
Well, little OCD.
So here's the thing. So I'm just gonna go into it because the reason why he's laughing. I'm gonna go into this. So now I've been moving them to like more sturdy black boxes, but before, whatever color card was in a box, it matched the color of the box. So if the box was red, there's red cards in there. So that's part one, is just separating them by color, and I can easily tell at a glance what's in what box. The next thing I did is anything that was above a certain, like the rares and the foils are put into different binders away from everything else, but there's a third binder that is specifically for cards that are over $5 in price. It's a more secure binder. It keeps them safer. It's just to preserve their condition. And also, that's usually what I'll be taking to like a card shop to actually like either sell them or to trade them, because that's what people are going to be wanting. So that's also like the one that travels. So it needs to be a bit more portable and a bit more sturdy.
Cool. I think I've been sitting down for too much today. Oh, my back.
We're almost done. And then inside each box, they are alphabetized. 100% A to Z alphabetized in that color. So again, if I need to find something that, say, I don't know, starts with a G, I can go to this specific G section, pull out that section, and just look there, instead of having to go through every goddamn box looking for one fucking card. I even have like 2 different sections of cards for like different lands. Because so one of the tricks that I learned when I was learning Magic is you actually want all of your lands to be the same printing of a land. So, and the reason why is actually more of a mind game. There are lots of cards that say, excuse me. There are lots of cards that say reveal a land or search your library for a forest, reveal it, and then put it in your hand, right? There are lots of cards that do this kind of thing. Now, someone could accidentally reveal the one land, and say they search for a forest and they reveal it, and then another card says they have to reveal a land. If you accidentally reveal a different land, it may still be a forest, but a different land, now your opponent knows that you have at least 2 lands in your hand. You're giving your opponent information. But if all of your land is the same artwork and the same printing, hey, guess what? Even if you show them a different land, they have no way of knowing it's a different land. And so you've given them no extra information. So I tend to have a box specifically for lands that I put in my decks because I like them and they're pretty. Another thing that I was taught, actually funny enough, another thing I was taught was actually to use snow-covered lands at all times, even if you're not actually going to be using snow-covered, like things that require snow-covered lands, because it makes the opponent think that you're going to be using snow creatures and snow things. Like, it makes them think that what you're doing is different than what you might actually be doing. Plus, the snow-covered lands are really pretty. They did a more recent set called Kaldheim. And the snow-covered lands in Kaldheim are really pretty. I really like them. I don't have any of them, but they're real pretty. Yeah, they're in Ice Age. They're in where's there? There's another one that is not Ice Age. It has the icicles instead of the snowflake. There is a second set that is older. But yeah, more recently they did something based on Norse mythology called Kaldheim. There's some really fun cards in there that I actually want some of them. But I haven't actually bought that set because I haven't been paying for Magic recently, because as we've established, they have been releasing sets too soon, too quickly, whatever you want to call it, and my wallet cannot keep up. So I've begun just buying individual cards that I just need instead of going for sets, just because I can't pay for pulling anymore.
I think I need to lay down just so my back stops complaining.
Okay. I'm about to turn it off anyway, so. You're free.
Oh, hey.
Unless you want to, like, chill out for, like, a minute so we can say goodbye.
I'm just... Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't, like, leaving. It's just I'm not at the computer.
Oh, I see.
Just because...
Ladies and gentlemen, for all you betting men and women here, she did not get the Bismarck.
Listen! I finished the side quests, okay?
It can't be so about Bismarck.
Listen! I got distracted by magic. Huh?
We won.
Careful, one of these days you're gonna say that. She's like, Green's going for another hour. And she's just gonna do it to finish.
If it was Friday, she probably would, but I know she won't do it today.
Yeah, it's because it's not Friday. If it was Friday, nah, out of pure spite, I would have continued.
But I admit, I literally waited for her to say, I'm ending stream, to say that. I noticed it the entire time that she wasn't getting the Bismarck, but like...
No, I 100% got distracted.
We got into some discussions. Yeah, we got into some discussions and distracted. You know?
I mean, but it's as I said though, there are way too many quests in Sea of Clouds, and the way Sea of Clouds is shaped, like no way.
Yeah, it's most of the navigation, because like you could like see, like I'd go towards a marker, but no. In fact, I had to go the other way and go around. I hate Sea of Clouds. It's my least favorite map in this entire game. Anyway, that is going to be the end of the stream, because my voice is now going because we've been talking so much. Good things, but between the coughing and the talking, my voice is dying.
See, my friends, this is why I logged out from the game, because I knew we weren't doing Bismarck.
You didn't know shit.
Careful, you're gonna get her to continue.
Oh, I'm not.
She can't, she's sick.
I'm not gonna get her to do anything, don't worry.
Uh-huh. Anyway, have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.